Hello guys, welcome to the channel, and today we are going to learn about object in R, how we can create the object, how we can use the object, and most importantly what is actually object. So firstly, I would like to tell you that there are the total 5 types of objects. It in R has a 5 objects or atomic classes of objects, you can say. First is a character, then numeric, it can be real numbers, integer, complex, and the logical. Logical means true or false, ideally 2 numbers. Okay, so with R it's important that we understand that there is a difference between the actual R object and the manner in which the R object is printed in the console. Often the printed output may have additional bells and whistles to make the output more friendly to the user. However, these bells and the whistles are not inherently part of the object. So we can start using the object without fear of any other object type and inheritance type of properties. So the most basic type of R object is a vector. Empty vector can be created with the vector function. You can write a vector function like this. Just write down vector and you will get this option. So this will create the empty vector function. There is easily only one rule that vector in R, which is that a vector can only be contain objects of the same values of the same class. But of course, like any other rules, there is an exception. There is a list which we can get the bit later as a list of the representations as a vector, but can contain object in a different classes. Indeed, that's usually why we use them. There is also a class for a new object. You can call it as a raw object, but they are not commonly used directly in the data analysis, and I won't cover them here. So let's start by creating vectors, creating objects into that. Okay, so we can start with the first number. So it's a numeric. So numeric in R are generally treated as a numeric object, double precision real number. This means that even if you see the number like 1 or 2 in the R, which you might think of as a number, they are likely represented behind the scenes as a numeric object. So sometimes like a 1.00 or 2.00, this isn't important most of the time, except when it is. So if you explicitly want an integer, you need to specify the suffix. For entering 1 in R gives you the numeric object. Entering 1L explicitly give you an integer object. There is also a special number inf, that means infinite, which represents the infinity. This allows us to represent the entities like 1 divided by 0. This way infinity can be used to ordinary calculation. 1 divided by infinity is 0. Okay, the value nan. So basically nan is like you can represent it like this. It's 9. You can get the option here. So nan represents an undefined value. It's a short form of not a number. NaN, not a number. Okay, so example is 1 divided by, so if you write 0 divided by 0 and press Ctrl Enter, then you will get the nan value. So this means that there is no number, so not a number. So can also be thought as a missing value more than a number. It is also thought as a missing value. You can also represent it. So attribute, the second type is attribute. So our object have a different attribute which are like metadata for the object. These object can be used usefully in that they help in describe the object. For example, column names on the data frame helps to tell us what data are contained in each column. Some example for R, this is the number, daily mass, dimensions, matrix, arrays, class, length. Don't worry, we will cover this in the next chapter, but today we'll restrict ourselves with the vectors because it's a very vast you know, course, so we need to do small steps. So let's create a vector. So for a vector there is a function called a c function. You can represent it like this means that it will create a vector with concatenating the other things. So for example, let's run this command to see what happens. If you run this command, this is like comment, so it will ignore, the system will ignore this as any other programming language. So if you press enter, you will get to see that the command is been executed here. This is a general notepad area. You can write anything you want, and you can just press Ctrl enter and you will get the output here. So no need to write again and again, so you have to write just one time here. Okay, then we will just cover all the same commands and you will get the output here below. Okay, in the console area you will get the whole output. So if you want the output, you can just type X and you will get the output regarding that. So but note that in that above example, the T and F, in the example the T and F, the true and false, are the short-handed ways to specify the true and false. However, in the general, one should try to use the explicit true and false. You can write true and false, but you can also write T and F if you don't want to write when indicating logical values. Okay, so T and F values are primarily there for when you are feeling lazy. Okay, so I was feeling bit lazy, so I just write a T and F. Okay, so we'll run this another command and just see what happens. Then after that, if you want to see what is the value of X, then you can just write X below, or you can write here also and press enter. You'll get the value as a 00000. So this means that the command is properly worked. So let's go to the next step, the mixing object. There are the occasions when the different classes of our object get mixed together. Sometimes this happens when an accident, but it can also be happen on the purpose. So what happens with the following code? So we can just run this following command and let's see what happens in this. Okay, you'll get to see that here all the commands have been run. So in each of the above case, we are mixing object of the two different classes of the vector. So remember that the only rule about the vector says that this is not allowed when the different objects are mixed in the vector. So correlation occurs so that every element in the vector is of the same class. In the example above, we see that the effect of the implicit correlation with what R tries to do is to find a way to represent all objects in the vector in a reasonable fashion. Sometimes this does not simply what you want, and sometimes not. For example, combining the numeric object with the character object will create a character vector, because number can easily be represented as a strings. Okay, so okay, you understood, right? Okay, then go to the next step. It will be like explicit correlation. So the object can be explicitly correlated from the one class to another using the as function. It means you can write correlation as a conversion. Okay, so let's see about this term. You can just run this command X. This means that you are creating an object name as X and the value is 0 to 6. Okay, so as function, as I said, there is as function for explicitly correlating. So you need to just write a class. If you want to check which of class is this, then you write a class and X and just press Ctrl enter. You will get the integer. It will tell you that 0 to 6 is an integer value. Now if you want to convert the 0 to 6 integer value into the numeric, then you can write as dot numeric, as dot logical, as dot character, whatever you want. Okay, then we will run on this code. You'll get the value like this as a numeric X. Into numeric, it will show you the number 0 to 6. and in the logical false, true, 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 and false. Okay, so 0 is not a number, that is why it is came out as a false. Okay, and rest is a true. As a character, you can write in the character in R, you need to define character in the double string. Here you can see that in the double quotes. Okay, so if you convert it into character, it will also show like this. So this is the way you can convert it explicitly. Okay, now similarly we can run this below code, and let's see what happens. You will get the same output, but there is a error. You can run one by one and see the what's error. So what if you convert the ABC, that is a character, into the numerics? Let's see what happens. It will go like this. Warning, nan introduced by creation. It means that this is not a number. If you want to convert number into character, it is possible in R, but if you want to convert character into number, there is not that's not possible. So it will come as NA. Okay, let's see. It can convert into logical NA. So it can convert into the n logical values. It can convert it into X, C in the complex. So again the error warning comes, but you will get the value as a NA. So that means that whenever the non essential correlation takes place, you will usually get a warning from the R. Okay, so this is the way we finish the topic objects. We'll see matrix in the next video. Till the time, if you like this video, then please like and share with your friends, and please subscribe our channel for more free courses. Till the time, see you, bye.